Hi everybody, I'm Pamela from Simply Styled Wardrobe. Today I'm talking about the history of blue colours. Now I'm wearing three different blue colours. My jacket is ultramarine blue, the pendant is close to Egyptian blue, and I'm also wearing indigo blue jeans. Now we associate blue with nature in our beautiful sky and oceans. Was this always the case? Well, something interesting that I came across in my research is that some scientists have claimed that early humans were in fact colorblind and therefore would not have been able to see the actual color of the sky and ocean that we recognize now, today. So imagine this. As an early human, you would look at the ocean and it would register as red. In fact, these scientists believe that these early humans could only see red, black, and white, and much later they could see yellow and green. Now, back in the 8th century before the Common Era, the ancient Greek poet Homer described the ocean as, quote, the color of wine, in his famous poem, The Odyssey. Centuries ago, and also recorded in writing, the colour blue was considered a barbaric colour because the Celtic warriors painted their bodies and faces blue to frighten off their enemies in battle. Also, it was believed that women painted their bodies blue to participate in orgies. Now, imagine that. The colour blue is known by many names such as Egyptian blue, ultramarine, indigo, Prussian blue, cobalt blue, woad, electric blue, cerulean, navy blue, French blue, Klein blue, a matte version of ultramarine, and counting. In fact, a blue called Yin Min blue is the latest released commercial pigment. Now, I'm not going to cover all of them. Now, the source for creating blue was through minerals and plants. I'll now present the history of just a few colours of blue, beginning with the earliest, Egyptian blue. Now, it's believed that the first people to produce blue were in fact the Egyptians, who created it by mixing semi-precious minerals such as azurite and malachite, which we see in jewellery today, with sand and heat. This created a soft blue, like this pendant. They used this in glass and also to paint pictures in the walls of tombs. Now let's talk about ultramarine or lapis lazuli. The Egyptians used lapis lazuli, which they imported from Afghanistan. They used it in art and cosmetics. It's believed that Cleopatra used blue in cosmetics for her eyes and lips. It was made by crushing semi-precious stone, lapis lazuli, into a powder and then mixing it with the liquid. Ultramarine means beyond the sea. Now, lapis contains grey impurities, which means that lots of it has to be mined to get the high quality without the impurities. So this makes lapis rare and therefore very expensive. So ultramarine travelled the Silk Road from Afghanistan to the Mediterranean, where it was traded from Venice into Europe. Now, in the 14th and 15th centuries, ultramarine, now highly treasured, was imported by Italian traders and became associated with royalty and great wealth. Lapis lazuli in its purest form became as valued as gold. Artists during the Renaissance period used ultramarine in religious paintings of the Madonna. They painted her clothes, in particular her cloak, blue. It became a metaphor for something precious. So ultramarine continued to be associated with the divine. Another interesting story of this period is about the artist Johann Vermeer's painting of the girl with the pearl earring. You may have seen the movie that was made of the same name. Here Vermeer paints the girl's headscarf ultramarine by using crushed pure lapis, a colour he became obsessed with, as did other artists. It almost sent him and his family bankrupt. Fortunately, he was saved by benefactors who commissioned more work, and he went on to create more masterpieces, which we enjoy. Now, I just briefly want to talk about cobalt blue. It's a mineral which is used as a colour, its use as a colour dates back to the 8th and 9th century. It was mainly used in ceramics and jewellery. In particular, it was used in China by artists in their blue and white porcelain decorations. And we're familiar with the blue and white porcelain as well. A favourite sought after colour was, and remains, is indigo. Indigo dates back to ancient times. It was discovered in plants. Indigo was extracted from plant leaves and was easy to use as a dye for cotton, wool and silk. It became very popular and was easily sourced and produced. It was also used in cosmetics, medicines, as well as art. It was imported into Europe from India by Arabian merchants. It was quite expensive, however. But in the 1880s, a synthetic indigo dye was created, and the jeans you own and wear today, like these that I'm wearing, is coloured using synthetic dyes. With the invention of synthetic indigo, which was cheap to produce, it became associated with the workforce and therefore no longer associated as luxury, obviously. Indigo dye, used for work clothes such as denim jeans and overalls, has quite a history. Levi Strauss, most of you would be familiar with the Levi jeans brand, had a partner, Jacob Davis, and together they created the riveted jeans that we are familiar with today. These rivets had a practical purpose. They look quite cool, but they added strength to the stress points and still do, such as the pockets. Now, the workmen would stress the denim as they went about doing their manual labour. From their humble beginnings, denim jeans took on a life of their own when celebrities, particularly movie stars, began to wear them in films and also in their private lives. Now, actors such as James Dean, Marilyn Monroe in the 50s and 60s led the way by making denim jeans trendy. Everybody wanted a pair of denim jeans. They wanted to look like their favourite movie stars, and later they wanted to wear jeans associating them with their rock stars. From the 1960s, high-end fashion designers created a trend for jeans by placing their label on the jeans, on the back pocket. For example, Versace, Giorgio Armani, and they still do this to this day. And then jean stores opened up in shopping malls. The rest is history. How many pairs of jeans do you own? I own a few and I love them. They go with everything. Now, to end, I want to talk about navy blue, which was produced out of indigo dye as well. Indigo was used in naval uniforms. It was originally called marine blue. The French infantry, up until World War I, continued to wear, however, red trousers, which made them an easy target for the enemy, obviously. So the trousers were made out of the indigo dye, making them a harder target, and lives, ironically, were saved, thanks to indigo. This blue we know today as French blue, which is simply a variation on indigo navy. Navy blue is a very popular fashion colour, particularly in business, as it's regarded as an honest, truthful colour. Most of us have at least a navy blazer or jacket or suit, right? And people wear blue in job interviews. Some contemporary fashionistas would argue that French blue or navy blue is the new black. I'm not so sure if it will knock the little black dress off the block just yet, but it is an alternative to black. So various blue colours have a significant history and are different in colour. When we look closely, we can see the differences, as you can see with what I'm wearing. Check out your blue clothes and decorative items. It's also important to note that shades of blue are different to colours of blue. A range of shades within each colour of blue is produced by adding white or black. Now, I'll finish now by saying that a survey done in 10 countries concluded that blue, in all its colours and shades, is the most popular colour for both men and women. Now, thank you for watching. Please look out for other videos on Instagram and also IGTV. Check out my pink and red colour videos, and please take care.